All right, welcome back. So today we are going to talk some numbers. I'm going to get a little technical on you guys. And the only reason I'm going to do this, I usually don't try to make things too technical, just because of the general population with RCs. We know the basics, and there's certain things that I know when it comes to DC current. I know nothing about AC. Alternating current is not my forte at all. I know there's a neutral, a ground, a power, some stuff like that, and they make your lights turn on in your house. But I've done a lot of training when it comes to direct current, DC current. And back when I was sponsored by a company called Kenny Bell, superchargers, when I was trying to set the record in 2003, 2004, we came up with a device that was called a BOOSTA pump, because we were taking factory-based cars and trying to set records with them. There's a few things that the class didn't allow you to do. One of them was change out your fuel system, change out your computer system. You weren't allowed to change your computer at all to any kind of, standalone computer system. Mass airflow sensor. If it was equipped, you had to run it. So we would play with basically voltages with the fuel pumps that are in all cars, all gas powered cars, I should say. Kenny Bell developed, and he taught me a lot of things when it came to developing this BOOSTA pump. Cars' electrical systems, batteries that are in cars, even though it's a 12-volt system, batteries standing still with no load on them. A good condition 12-volt battery would sit at about 12.7, 12.8 on a 12-volt battery. Gel cells tend to sit a little higher. And then when the vehicle's running, when the alternator kicks in, that would go anywhere between 13.4 and 14 volts, so that it can keep up with all the electrical systems. So what he devised was this thing called a BOOSTA pump. You would cut your fuel pump wires, and under boost, we had a boost pressure solenoid. It would basically trigger this box with a dial, and you had a dial that you could adjust it, and the dial would go to a maximum of 20 volts. So depending on how much boost we would run in the cars, we would make that fuel pump turn on only under boost. With the boost pressure solenoid, it would kick the voltages up to the fuel pump so that it could keep up with the demand if we were running around 80% duty cycle on our injectors. So this would help us to supply more fuel, still at 80%, and make the car go rich, so that we can make more power. And it was a big edge that we had over the competitors when it came to racing. I traveled from ocean to ocean, which was California to Freehold, New Jersey. I took a year off. I hit every racetrack, and I came back third in the country. With the help of Kenny Bell and some, Galpin Autosports and a few other companies that would help me along the way. My own company being Earl's Automotive, sponsoring the trip. But that brings me down to something that somebody was asking me on these fans. And they were asking CFM. What do they flow CFM? Can I have the number? And I was like, well, CFM is a way to measure air, and it'll get you close, but it's not accurate. You can't compare, CFM to other fans CFM, because depending on how they run their fans and how their coil windings are versus how these coil windings are, there's so many different options out there. And RC Guy Garage, approved this back when Game Changer was running his V1 fans, when he came out with the V2 fans. You guys see me plug in these fans, especially these new fans. You watch me plug it in to this battery here. And this battery here is a 4S battery. You see? Because the plug on his new fan is 4S. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wires. So you agree? That's a 4S LiPo. This 4S LiPo, 14.8 is what it's rated for in voltage. Because everybody assumes 4S is 14.8. Because this guy is telling me that the other fan flows so many CFM based off a 4S battery that's 14.8. Here we go. How many wires is this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 wire. 4S battery. It's a 4S 7500. This one is a 4S 8500 mAh. But what's the big difference? This is 14.8. This is 15.2. So plugging this 4S into this fan is going to produce more CFM than if I plug this fan into this. And that's what I'm talking about good rated batteries. Now you can take that same fan and buy an eBay battery or a Z-Pop or, I don't know, all the cheap batteries that are out there that people are running, like Kevin Talbert and that kind of stuff. And you can plug this fan into that and the CFM is going to be less. It's just going to be less. Because with these fans, depending on what the maximum voltage is that it takes to fry this fan. So a lot of these people building these fans will find these little motors and that kind of stuff, and they will say, okay, you can run it at 7.4 2S. We're going to get it at a 2S battery. Now this 2S battery, and everybody thinks 2S is 7.4 volts. And that's the general conception. 7.4. 5,000 mAh. Right? But here you go. What if I plug that same fan into this mini pack? 5,100 mAh. So it's the same apparent, runtime, but this is 7.6 volt. 38.8 watt. 37. And that's where the problem comes when it comes to saying, hey, this fan is going to run at this CFM. So there's going to be a big variance. I mean, you're putting more volts to one fan versus another fan. I mean, call a horse what it is. It's only going to put out what the battery you're running it off of is putting it out. So just because they're selling you a fan that says, it's going to put out a certain amount, it doesn't really help us. And I think that's where, me doing a lot of testing for Game Changer that you guys don't see behind the scenes is that RC Guy Garage, he'll take a fan and Game Changer will say, hey, run it on 2S only. And RC Guy will run it on 3S. He'll up the voltage and the fan will spin, make more CFM. And he's not having an issue with it. Game Changer won't recommend it because he knows, according to the data, that yes, it will spin faster, but you're going to cut the life of that fan down. So there's a balance there. So all these fans that have high CFM, you know, I don't know what they are. Even though you give me the CFM number and I read all that, I'm going to bring the fan back here and I'm going to do my own testing on it. I'm going to see how long it lasts. I'm going to overvolt that fan and see where it dies. And then I'm going to run it. Like I told you, Game Changers V1 fans, this one, been indestructible. We're not working this fan at all on 3S. It's just, I'm not working it. The thing's been over a year. It's constantly been running. I run it and everything. I beat it up. And that's another thing. Just because it's flowing a bunch of CFM, one impact off Big Bertha, is that fan going to break? I don't know. And that's where I feel Game Changer, and that's why I work with Game Changer a lot, is because whether RC Guy Garage told him, hey, this ain't working out, or I told him, hey, this ain't working out, this is what I found, this is what I did to it. I mean, we have these fans to destroy. We have these fans to run. RC Guy Garage, where he lives, it's always raining and muddy and that kind of stuff. So he's running them through that stuff. And some of the fans are shorting out because of the water. So then we're going back to Game Changer. Hey, can we make these waterproof? Can you make them splash proof? Can you make them a little better? Can you do this? Can you do that? And that's what we're doing. So, and that's one thing I'll never do, is like I told you guys, I'll never lie to you. I'll never hide anything. But CFM to me doesn't really mean a whole lot, because everybody's going to run a different battery, which is going to make this fan or any fan run differently. And a big fan is just a motor. Fuel pump is just a motor. A fan in the car is just a motor. The motor to your RC is just a motor. It's going to work as hard as the voltage you put to it until it can't take it no more. Now, I don't know if you guys remember this motor right here. This is Castle's 1406 7700 kV. No, this isn't the one. Gotta find my other motor. I ran Castle's 2200 motor, their 6S motor. I ran it in my speed car on 8S for over a year, 135 miles an hour in 100-degree weather. I would run that motor because the motor don't care. Now Castle says, hey, that's only a 6S motor. What are you doing? You can't do that. But I ran it for over a year. At a year and a half on a 120-degree day, I ran it back to back 3 times in my speed car at 130 miles an hour. And I finally ended up cooking that motor. And just like Castle and everybody else, it's like they give us the numbers to give us a baseline, but you can run some motors harder than you can run other motors. And batteries are a big part. So when these guys count these wires on these speed runs and they say, hey, 5 wires, 4S, are they 15.2 volts? Are they really race batteries? And then there's companies like Max Amps. They'll throw on 11.1, but when you check it, you're getting 12.4, 12.5. High quality battery. And that's why these batteries perform. So it's like, it's just something I wanted to go over and put it out there, that numbers are numbers, and that's why we run them, we test them, we bash them. We've got it on a Coke can motor, and I'm sure there's other fan companies out there that could be better. But for me, like I said, this is an affordable, easy solution for an RC car. For one, he's an eBay seller, which means you can get shipping almost everywhere. 2, if you don't get your product, guess what? You get your money back. If it's not through the company, if it's not through Game Changer, guess what? Who's going to give you your money back? It's going to be eBay. eBay sticks up for their customers, and that's why I like eBay. PayPal, it's hard to get your money back. I pay a lot of stuff with PayPal. And if I go to a .com or go straight to Power Hobbies or something like that and I ask for a refund and the manager's having a bad day that day, kind of like what happened with me with SMS. I bought batteries from SMS and I never got them. I bought them direct through his company. So now, SMS, they don't sell on eBay anymore. Why? Because screwed a lot of people. You know, so when people were telling me, hey, they're pretty good batteries here, well, you should check them out, I went to his website and bought them. And I got burned. I got burned for $200. It won't happen to me again. So I like purchasing off eBay. I like purchasing off Amazon because now you're not dependent on the vendor, the manufacturer. They're not telling you once they have your money to go F yourself. You have a recourse. And that's why I like Game Changer. And I've asked a lot of other companies, hey, you know, why don't you sell on eBay or you don't sell on Amazon? Oh, no, you don't. Because when you pay them, they don't ship your product within the time frame that eBay tells you you have to ship. You know, if you don't ship that product and you don't give them a tracking number, guess what? They're going to give you your money back. But a supplier, you could be sitting for months not getting your product, calling every day, dealing with the hassle. So for me, Game Changers, you know, eBay, he's an eBay seller. Anybody selling eBay, go on eBay and sell with us. If you're selling fans, go on eBay and I'll buy them and I'll try them and I'll test them. But if they're not selling on Amazon or eBay, that's how I found Game Changer, up on eBay. You know, Game Changer went ahead and sent me a fan. Here you go, brother, try it out. Oh, you're an eBay seller? Great. So, just putting in my 2 cents there, but I wanted to plug in this 4S pack. I wanted to take a listen to and see how this sounds. Man. And you could tell, I mean, this thing is sucking off the mount. I really wish you guys were here. I mean, I literally, with it clipped to the mount, I could almost suck it off the mount. And it spins so much harder with this pack than it does with this pack. And then some guys were saying, hey, it's the gauge of wire. Why are you going off the balance port? You know, this fan company, they run T connectors or they run, you know, 12 gauge wire to their fans. They run straight to the big harness right here. What's that going to do for the itty bitty wires that are inside this fan? These fans are only so big. The winding that's in these fans is really thin. So if you overamp them with big gauge wire, it doesn't show anything. So the balance port lead wires are the same gauge as the wires that are on the circuit board in these fans. So if these wires are getting hot, imagine how hot it is inside this fan. That's all I'm saying. Don't be fooled by saying, hey, we're going to the big plug. You can't run off a little balance lead. Yes, you can. We've already checked chems. We've already done that. Plus, when he wires this for a 4S or a 3S or however he does it, you know, you'll notice that one fan is going to one port, another, there's 3 prongs in here. Where this one, same dual battery, has got 2 prongs. So Game Changer's got some secrets. And he does things that a lot of people don't know about. They just assume, you know, it's a computer fan. If your fan goes bad, go buy one for $5 somewhere. I'm telling you guys, it doesn't work. Doesn't work that way, you know. Game Changer is linked up with Basher Queen to do some carbon fiber stuff, making some mounts for Game Changer. You know, the stainless steel hardware, the screens, you know, the wire cover, the soldering job that he does. I mean, the quality of these fans are amazing, and the weight that's behind these fans, truly amazing. So whether you run something on 3S, 2S, 4S, he makes sure not only are you running this fan at a maximum, because he allows a lot of leniency because he wants to see his fans go for a long time. That's why he tells RC Guy Garage, hey, it's a 3S fan, please don't run it on 4S, it's going to cut the life of it down. So an RC Guy Garage will tell you, hey, don't do like me, but I run my fans on 3S even though it says I should run it on 2S. Because, you know, it's working for him. And I know why, and RC Guy Garage knows why. Because you have that leeway in these motors to accept that voltage. There's no charging system with this RC car. There's nothing adding the voltage back to it. So, and then when your pack starts to get low, you know, that voltage is falling off. You know, it doesn't maintain it. So you're only going to have peak power on these fans for a little bit. And that's why I'm running a dead battery. Well, I shouldn't say dead, but a low battery. So let me grab the checker. Let's check this thing. Here's the box I'm looking for. Let's check these cells. Oh, that's backwards. 15.86. 15.86. What? 15.86, but this says it's 14.8. 15.82. But this says it's 14.8. Wait a second. Why is it 15.82? Don't make sense. 15.82. And we're 390 a cell is what it's looking like. It's going really fast. 394, 398. 15.82. Let me check this one. But it's only supposed to be 14.8. Why is it at 15? Don't make no sense. 15.7. This one's 15.7. And this says it's only 15.2. Why are we showing 15.7? 15.70. That's what I'm talking about, guys. You know, everybody who puts something on their batteries rates them differently. And that's why some batteries perform better than other batteries. And you just, it's just one of those things we have to learn to accept. And that's why CFM data to me isn't that important, because it's just a number. I don't know if they're being true. I don't know if this guy's being true. I don't know if he's being true. With electronics, there's a lot of different leeways. 14.8 could be tested under big load, and it holds a steady 14.8, where this one under big load could hold a steady 15.2. So I don't know how they're rating this stuff. So, and that's just my point, something I wanted to get across. The only way to be 100% sure is to test the stuff yourself. And I don't have a device to check CFM, so I can't tell you. All I can tell you is that I run them hard, just like I'll be running this hard. When something breaks, I'm going to show you it breaks. I'm going to take it apart. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to try to fix it. I'm going to tell you if it's a catastrophic failure. I have nothing to hide. You know, Game Changer RC, you know, to me, he's a very good company. And when I blew up the fan in my speed car and it burned down, he called me immediately. And he pulled that fan off the market because he realized an issue, a problem. So there we go, guys. Just wanted to get that out there. But like you guys heard, July 4th, Game Changer will be dropping this. I'm cleaning this thing up. I've got to pull this side plate. I'm going to get some zip ties around this. I want to run some heavy zip ties around this fan because it's sitting up so high. And I've got some hardware. I want to make sure that this thing is really secure and that I'm not going to, if I land upside down, this thing's not going to be popping off and I'm not going to be killing these blades. So debating on whether to run them off to the side a little bit. Definitely want to get the heat sink as tight as I can to this motor. I'm thinking I might want to get this heat sink towards the rear because the computer board and sensor wire and all that stuff's towards the back of this. And I've noticed when I'm temp checking this thing, the rear of the motor seems to be hotter than the front part of the motor. So I think I want to get the heat sink flipped around and towards the back as best I can. Just so I can use the benefit of this heat sink. But there we go, guys. I'm gonna get this cleaned up, get it ready to bash. But I've got some drag car stuff. I need to get all this stuff cleared off of my table now. I want to go run the low C drag car. I want to make sure that I have brakes on that thing, and I've got a few things that I need to do to those. And we're gonna get my other Outcast ready to run, and I'm going to change out some fans on that as well, because I noticed that Coke can motor was running really hot. So July 4th, guess what? I'll be contacting Game Changer like you guys. I need another one of these fans to put on my ready to run so my daughter could jump that. It's hot in California, guys, over 100 degrees, and it's going to be that way for a few more months. So if I want to run, that's what I'm going to have to do. But like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment, and we'll talk about it. I have nothing to hide, and I share as much knowledge as I have. I don't know everything, but I do know a little bit. So if you want the little knowledge I have, let's play RC. Watch some of my builds. I try to show you everything. See you guys later.